My redstone world is absolutely enormous. As you can see right here, we have got redstone contraptions stretching off to the horizon in pretty much every single direction that you look. And a lot of you recently have been asking for me to do a tour of it, taking a look at some of my favourite redstone contraptions and maybe some of the most interesting ones. So I thought we would do that today. Now, as far as I remember, this is the first redstone build that I actually created in this place. It was a silverfish spawner that then pushes them down into a stone block, and then you get this big area right here, which means that you create a silverfish farm. You can see, look, these are all monster eggs. So you've actually got yourself a working silverfish farm, and then when you punch one of these and hit one of the silverfish, all of them begin to explode out of this block, and they all fall down into a little chamber, and then you could kill them off, and you could get yourself tons and tons of XP. This was actually quite an interesting build. I wonder if I could do it better. I feel like I could do it better now. Anyway, next to that, we have got this rather interesting contraption that I didn't think was going to work, but maybe we just need the blocks here. No, not quite. There's a lot of these that are going to be broken. Unfortunately, Minecraft updates will have played havoc with these things, but this is like a staircase that pops out of the walls. We've got the cauldron swapper right here that swaps around your cauldrons when you actually run out of them. This thing is a mob pop-up system. We've got the working analog clock off in this direction over here. This thing was pretty interesting. And of course, the famous Mumbo Jumbo door. This was a celebration for my 200,000 subscriber milestone. So you can tell just how long ago this was. I mean, that must be what? About 2013 maybe? This is a pretty interesting one. The working water door, so the water flows down, your door is closed, and then you hit the button, and everything reopens. That's quite an interesting concept, and I'm assuming it works with lava as well. For me, it's actually quite interesting to just see which redstone contraptions are working and which ones are broken. This one's still functioning, and it's like a two-way staircase system, so we've got a staircase going up, and then we can flick the lever, and we also get a staircase going down as well. That's quite a nice concept. Yeah, with the slabs going up, looks pretty cool. One thing that I am really interested to try is this, the piston travelator. Now, do I have high hopes for this or not? I don't think it's going to work. Let's see. Hey! It still does! Oh, man. If I was confident that this would work on the Hermitcraft server, I would totally build it. I would totally build that. Oh, now this is bringing back a lot of nostalgia. The original 4x4 vault door. As fast as ever, as compact as ever. That is a bit of a beast. For those that don't know, this is kind of one of the first piston doors that I personally created that did incredibly well on YouTube, and people really, really liked it, and I started seeing them popping up everywhere, it was a bit of a proud moment for me, I guess. Speaking of piston doors, this one's one of my personal favourites. The flush and seamless 2x2 piston door. So you can see the pistons actually get hidden away behind these blocks, so they get pushed up and out of the way. That's a cool redstone circuit. I need to build these things more often. I mean, it's not exactly a complex system. One thing worth mentioning about the redstone testing world is that this is obviously the heart of it. So this is where it all started, and then from that point, it just spreads off in all directions. So the further out you go, the older the redstone, or the newer the redstone contraptions are going to be. The later into the process of the redstone testing world they were built. Now, by the look of things, I've found another 4x4 vault door. I think this is the one that came after the one that I just showed you. And the reason I did this is because slime blocks were introduced into the game. So we're making use of slime block mechanics, and that meant that we could have two faces to the vault door. So the first one that I showed you, that only had one face. The back side of it was just covered in pistons, which wasn't particularly nice looking. Whereas this one has got two pretty sides, and also it's faster as well. I mean, look at that. That's absolutely rapid. I gotta say, I was really excited to try this thing out. The unbreakable cobblestone wall that I think I released a year ago? I think it will be about a year ago now. But sadly, something very odd has happened to this one. I can't place blocks here. I can't place blocks over here. There's meant to be a sticky piston here. It seems like the sticky pistons have disappeared, but they're still there. Kind of. I can't place any blocks. Look, I can't place blocks on top of these. I'm right-clicking. Look, I can place blocks everywhere else. Even if I place a block there and then do this, still nothing. So very, very strange. Then we got things like the whack-a-mole there. We've got Russian roulette. There's a Russian roulette gun. We've got a slime block-based sugarcane farm. This is my Morse code keyboard. Oh, I wonder if this is still working. So we hit this. It does still work. So we used to have signs underneath all of these, and you can see some of them over here. So if we press A here, this gives the Morse code for A, which is dot dash. And it works for all of these buttons. I went through a stage of really liking Morse code. I don't really know. Of course, I do still occasionally do Hermitcraft builds in the redstone testing world as well. So you can see there's the power beam from Hermitcraft Season 3. There's the plans for the nether base. Over there, we've got some stuff for Hermitcraft Season 2, that totem pole, and also that tiny little tunnel that you can see down the bottom. And then, of course, we have got this catastrophic failure of a redstone contraption. Catastrophic. The passive mob farm. That was awful. What on earth is this thing, though? Oh, I remember now. So this was the secret code machine, so you could send messages to your friends in secret codes. So you'd have an encoder, and then your friend would have a decoder, and it would send items through. I love this thing. I'd completely forgotten about it. Oh man, that is so cool. And next to it is another one of my personal favourite redstone contraptions recently, the gapless piston feed tape. I just love the way that this thing moves. Oh, it's mesmerising, it really is. And redstone drawbridge. That's not bad. How many blocks is that? That's 7 blocks. So if you had a moat, this would be a good redstone contraption to have. I actually think we could make this bigger now. I genuinely think we could do a much better job of that. That might be something to do in the future. Then we have things like... Oh, that's the pop-up candy cane. We also have... Now, this is the hipster water fountain. So, the idea was that you'd have ice, and then you'd have this glowstone here, and it would pop up, and then it would melt the ice, so that you had this system here. It was a one-use ordeal, and it involved a whole ton of redstone, and generally... It didn't really work that well occasionally. Like, the ice would melt, and then the piston would push through it, so then you'd just lose the water. But it was a cool concept. This is one of those concepts that I spent hours on. Oh, and I've just spotted this. Oh, I remember this. I built this on the Hermitcraft server, and Exuma Void essentially sent me a message straight away saying, "What on earth are you doing?" Because if a creeper blows up next to this thing, it will all go up, and the shopping district was very densely populated. It would have taken out about 50% of the shops at the time, so he asked me to redesign it, which I think is probably for the better. Yeah, what was I thinking? Now, this is another redstone build that doesn't work, but I know that a lot of you are going to be very interested in it. The idea of this one was that it was a mob translocation farm. So what you'd have is you would have... Let's see if we can get inside here. So we have spawning platforms here, and then the mobs get pushed across, and then they get sucked upwards by the pistons. That was back when the translocation bug was a thing, and you could be pulled upwards through pistons, and then it would take them up to the top, push them all the way across here, and then they'd end up on this platform, I think. Yeah. So they all make their way over to here, and then you can kill them inside. It was a nice concept, wasn't particularly fast, very, very laggy, and involved a whole ton of resources. Still, looks pretty cool though. You know what, I do kind of miss the mob translocation bug, because look, this was a puller and a puller-upper, so you could pull mobs across and then send them upwards. I mean, that was a pretty interesting thing, and I remember Mojang said that they were going to keep it, and then they went back on it and said that actually they were going to be getting rid of it, because it just didn't really make too much sense, which is a bit of a shame. Let's see. Good! This is my gold play button door. That still functions. How big is that? It's 5 by 5. That's not too bad. What a funny door. I built that for 1 million subscribers. I don't think missile silos are ever going to get boring. I remember I was super excited for this video. It didn't actually end up doing that well. People didn't care about it too much, which is very strange because it's a missile silo. Why do people not care about a missile silo? Even in the demonstration, I had missiles set up underneath this thing. When I flicked the lever, they then launched out. It looked awesome. think you should go back and watch that video. Another thing that I often get asked when you can see this thing in the background when I'm working in my redstone testing world is, what on earth is this thing? This is the arena for my Terror or Treat minigame. Now, this was like a quick minigame that I just worked on as a fast project. I can't really remember how it worked. It involved cookies and I think some monsters and things, and it was like a bit of a mob fight, and you also had to pick up as many cookies as possible. It was quite fun, and it was a really fun project to work on. I don't tend to do that sort of thing very often, so I learnt quite a lot in the process. But I'm still quite happy with the design. I really like the brains out the back. That's a good detail. I sincerely hope this still works. Ah, that is heartbreaking. This is my old piston moat. Why does that not function? That might have something to do with it. I'm gonna try and fix it. I think I've kind of fixed it. Oh gosh, no, it's all going horribly wrong again. Well, you get the idea anyway. It was a pop-up moat. The moat would pop up and then pop back down. You could retract or extend it whenever you wanted. I still like to occasionally pop over and play with this redstone contraption. For me, it's just always amusing. It's the face swap. Oh my word. Just the number of combinations that you can create. Let's swap out the nose. That button nose is just... Oh no! Oh, this is the problem with redstone testing world builds, is that they break over time. Let's see if the hair still works. At least the hair still works. So my nose is just broken. I've just got a broken nose. It's just been pushed over a few blocks. Nice. Is this a slime block hipster bridge? Oh, it is. Oh, now check that out. I mean, it's a little bit frustrating because, of course, you kind of have to jump. Otherwise, you're going to be very slow over the slime blocks. But that's cool. 2 blocks wide as well. And I'm assuming all of the retraction works. That's really nice. And then we have all the different types of piston doors. We got this little fella, the smallest 3x3 piston door you can possibly create. This is just a standard flush piston door. Oh, hold up. Is this what I think it is? Yes. This is one of the most popular piston doors on my channel. The 3x3 spiral piston door. And I can understand why. It is a cool looking door. Like a seriously cool looking door. Really, really nice stuff. Oh, I should just fly around here more often. I mean, there's just so many things going on. I mean, over here we've got... I think this is the movie theatre. Is this the movie theatre? Yep, this is the movie theatre. So we hit that and the lights turn off. We get the screen going around. Not the best film. I've seen better. But it's not too bad. What's also quite cool is just seeing things from the old Hermitcraft servers. For example, this is the slime block shop. This is the sugarcane farm that we built in Hermitcraft Season 4 in the Industrial District. We have got that, which is our charged creeper holder, which I still can't believe I managed to catch that thing. And then, totally unrelated to Hermitcraft, but considering it's right here, we have got the build that I wanted to do for years. I had always wanted to do this. Creating a system that shows the number that you press. Look, we press number 9. Number 9 pops up. I'm still proud of this redstone build. Because you do not know how long it took me to work out how to build something like this. People were doing it way back in the day, and I don't understand how, because I was using modern mechanics, and this thing's still pretty big. No, has this just been running for the entire time? I think maybe unloading the chunks has slightly broken it a little bit. But still, we've got a working solar system. Very nice. Moon's made of cheese. Everyone knows that. A lot of people said when I released this thing that I couldn't have possibly built it. It must have been built by Grian, which I take as a massive compliment. That's very flattering. It did take me quite a long time to design, and I have to say I am quite happy with it. But no, this was entirely constructed by me. And of course, all of the redstone stuff on the inside, making it function, that was all done by me as well. I do everything on this channel. For anyone who's wondering, everything in this redstone testing world was built by me. No one else has touched it. Including this guy. This guy was definitely built by me. And it's probably one of my proudest builds. I mean, that definitely looks like a spoon, and that face is just, I mean, spot on. Sometimes you just build things and they're spot on. This is spot on. I'm trying to speed around a little bit and just take a look at the ones that I find most interesting, but I couldn't fly past this guy without making some comment. Hermitcraft Season 4, the Mumbot Jumbot. This guy seems to still be alive. I mean, I must have just not loaded him that much. He's still going strong. Look, he's just got his slightly unhappy face. He's not dead yet. I think this video is going to be about half an hour long. I'm just going to keep going until I've run out of redstone contraptions. There are some really cool things going off in this area. We've got the 6x6 piston door, that old vault door, that thing's working nicely. This is my useless machine that comes down from the ceiling. Which, once again, that will never get boring, but it seems to be slightly broken. That piston doesn't re-extend. I imagine it probably just needs an update. I don't really know. We've got the self-building house. Once again, another redstone contraption that just will never get boring. Self-building things is always exciting to watch. We've got the monster door. This thing's pretty interesting. His teeth will swap over so that you can actually make your way through. And then they lock back off. What on earth is this thing? Is this the 4x4 hidden nether portal? Let's see if this still works. It does! Almost! There's so many redstone builds in this world that almost work, but sort of don't. That's just how time works in Minecraft, unfortunately. Oh, that is fancy, though. Oh, I've just come across this thing. This was my concept for a slime block-based mob farm. And it was big. It wasn't designed to be built, almost. Like there was no way that anyone was actually going to build this thing. But it looks cool. Oh, you can't really see it. It happens too fast. But the idea was that the actual platforms themselves would retract, dropping out all of the mobs out the bottom. I mean, look at that. That is a satisfying thing to watch. I actually think I should build something like this on the Hermitcraft server. This is a fun little game. Let's see if it still functions. Yeah, so you basically place bets on which one you think is going to win. So I'm placing bets on blue. Come on, blue. No! What are you doing, blue? Oh, no! Oh, come on. Make a comeback. No! Oh, we came third. Damn, it's such a fun little game, though. It's essentially randomized powering of the rails. And then eventually the minecarts make their way down, completely random. You have no clue who's going to win. I think it would be fun to build something like this on the Hermitcraft server and maybe even charge the hermits to pay. So it's like a gambling game. And then if their one wins, then they get like 3 diamonds back. That could be quite cool. Well, I was just standing here. I was watching back the clips. I realised that this is the Blaze Farm. This is the crazy Blaze Farm that was the biggest pain in the backside to build. This was seriously horrible to build. I don't say that very often, but it was a real challenge. Let's see. Does that switch it on? Are the minecarts going to come out? Are there any minecarts? Oh, okay. So some minecarts have popped out. As I say, things often break in the redstone testing world, but that was kind of the concept. But as you can see, it stopped working, and the blaze are not being sent out down the tube at all. Oh, this was a challenge. There were just so many builds in this place. I had not anticipated how many builds there would be. I hadn't quite anticipated how many would be broken, to be quite frankly honest with you. I have no clue. I have no clue. Oh! I see what the idea is. I think one of the main problems with a lot of the builds here is the fact that when I went into some of the snapshots, it erased all of the items inside droppers, which means that monostable circuits like this one stop working. So any builds that were built before that point, they don't have working monostable circuits. Does anyone remember this? Let me know down in the comment section if you remember this, especially if you're an Exhumovoid fan. If there's one build that I want to work today, it's gonna be this one. It just has to be this one. And go. Oh, that is a nice thing to watch. Oh, that is a nice thing to watch. The armor stand wave machine. It still worked, and it is still looking really cool. What a fluid wave that is. You don't normally see motions that fluid in Minecraft. Surprising. It is an absolute lag machine, though, so I think we need to switch that one off. There are a whole bunch of other interesting builds around here, though. Like, that is the two-way 2x2 trapdoor. This thing, I think, is going to be a combination lock. Yeah, that's a really simple combination lock. We've got stone generators. We have the Granny Christmas presents giver. We've got the one-way pressure plate. This is the laser security system. Yeah. It's so weird how I can just instantly recall each one of these. Like, I wouldn't be able to think of all the redstone contraptions I've ever built, but just seeing them, I know exactly what they are straight away. It's really odd. Hold up, is this the Stargate? Is this the Stargate system that I created? No, it doesn't have half its redstone. Oh no, I so wanted to try that thing out. It's been ages. And in further disappointment, next door to it is the Crowd Goes Wild machine, and my crowd's missing. My actual crowd is missing. Oh. Still, this thing works, and this thing is seriously impressive. So we have got ourselves a spiral staircase. Now that may not sound particularly exciting, but the interesting thing about this one is it's expandable, which means that you don't have... Most spiral staircases, depending on how you build them, will get down to about here, and then you have to have a tunnel going off in this direction because there's going to be redstone over here. This had to be built and made very big to make it expandable. Now, you know, I don't consider myself the best at redstone. I certainly don't consider myself the best at redstone, but occasionally I have my moments of slight smartness, and I think this might be one of them. This is probably one of my most controversial redstone videos here, or the remnants of it. The redstone pimple popper. Fortunately, none of them are working, but I'd suggest looking it up. It was a system where it would squeeze a spot, and the spots would pop. I know we were talking just a little bit earlier on about moments of smartness. This is not one of those moments of smartness. This is just me being goofy. This gigantic circuit board looking contraption, I always love this thing because it does actually look like a circuit board. That is the grid maze. I've mentioned this many times now. It's essentially a randomized maze. In fact, there's a lot of mazes around the redstone testing world. There's tons of them. For example, this one. This is the changing maze. So this uses sand and double piston extenders down underneath, which then push up and pull down some sand, meaning that it changes as you're going around it. Now that's a big challenge. Oh, and there's another maze over there. That is the invisible maze. Is this the invisible one? Yes, you stand on the pressure plates, and that will push up a block. So you essentially have like a grid almost. So you go along like this, and you can see it shows you where you can go, but you can't see where to go when you're actually walking along it. I like this idea, actually. Yeah, this is a pretty cool one. There's a few others as well. I like mazes. I'm interested in that sort of thing. In fact, these are the mazes that we've just recently built on the Hermitcraft server for the Labyrinth. If I remember correctly, this was for a 360 video. So what we had, if we can find the input, let's see if we can find the input on this one. I think it's maybe somewhere over here. Oh, I remember now. So I set up the camera so that it would be over here. It floats up like this, and then I went underneath the redstone build, and I was just hitting these buttons, and these blocks would pop up. And the point of the 360 video is you had to look around and see which colors had actually popped up, and then you had to take note of them, and then down in the comment section you had to put in your list of the order of the colors popping up. 360 videos are interesting. I don't know how I feel about them. I personally don't really like watching them that much, but if you want to see more of them, then let me know, and I'll work on other fun concepts like that one. In fact, there should be another one around here somewhere. Well, this is a pretty good example of one. This gigantic tunnel right here is the 360 redstone tunnel. So as you make your way through here, different things would be going on. We'd have things exploding, stuff happening on the corners. Yeah, it was good fun. These things are pretty fun to work on. They're always interesting, and people tend to like them. 360 videos, whoa. If you're wondering why my redstone testing world is quite a laggy place, it's because of things like that I just leave running. There's probably thousands of them throughout the world. Rainbow beacons, another one of those builds that will never get boring. I mean, I wouldn't personally advise building one of them because this is the sort of thing that if you're playing on a server, the server owner is going to send you an email at 3 o'clock in the morning saying, "What on earth are you doing? Why are you building such ridiculous redstone contraptions that are essentially fast-paced redstone clocks with transparent blocks moving around, pistons, and beacon updates?" But they do look cool. I mean, seriously, they do look really cool, let's be honest. I actually went through a bit of a phase with the rainbow beacons, and this is definitely one of the most impressive ones. Oh my word. Now, you know what I said earlier on about the lag? Yeah, if you built one of these, I don't even think the server owner would send you a message. I think you'd just be banned straight away, and everything from your base would be dismantled very quickly. Oh, this thing! Yeah, the redstone nether cube. I love stuff like this. I seriously do. Like, these sorts of redstone contraptions, just small little things. Fairly simple, but just interesting to look at. I want to do stuff like this more often, I think, in the future. This thing's compact, man. It fits inside the nether cube. Holy mackerel. Oh, look, there's the RV. There's the RV from Hermitcraft Season 4. And next to that, I think we have the smallest Rube Goldberg machine. Yeah, this was a little concept where I wanted to create just a cube of Rube Goldberg. For those of you who don't know what a Rube Goldberg machine is, it's essentially a chain of events that lead to an outcome. This is like a long chain of events. We've got armor stand pushers, we've got, I think this was sheep that get dispensed and have to walk onto that pressure plate. We had some items being pushed around, all sorts going on in this tiny, tiny little space that you can see here. I love Rube, that's another one that I love. Rube Goldberg machines are great fun, but people stopped really being interested in them. Yeah, I'd built quite a few of them in the past, so maybe it's something to revisit, but I don't really know. Oh, we have some cool stuff going on over here. These are the realistic piston elevators, or the different versions of them that I've built. I think these might be some of the older ones, because I did just try it out and it doesn't seem to be working. None of the items are in the hoppers, which means that I think it must have gone through some updates. This must be one of the older ones. I built a few of them because redstone changes and you get new techniques and you can improve them. So I guess this must be, yes, one of the slightly older ones. And these are all the different designs for them. Over here we have, I'm guessing this is just another one. We've got that's for the death games, I think. What on earth is this thing? Huh. For the first time in this video, I could not tell you what that is. I have absolutely no clue. If anyone knows, let me know. Oh, the mini Temple of Notch. Let's see if it works. I'm assuming not. This is quite an old one again. His eyes have opened, though, so he's got his little face. Oh, he winked! Yes! He likes me! That means that he likes me! This is good! Okay, so Notch is a big fan of mine, apparently. We can take it official from the Micro Temple of Notch, of course, based on the build by FV Disco, which was one of the first Redstone builds I ever saw, and one of the ones that actually got me into Minecraft Redstone. Behind that, we've got, this was my most complex Redstone contraption of 2016, I think? That's what I said, and I released it on the 1st of January 2016, and all it did was open and close these doors. I think this one cheesed quite a few people off. But, you know, I like to poke fun. I like to take the mick occasionally. I guess you could call it trolling. Yeah, you know, just I dabble in it occasionally. Okay, I just drop it into videos every now and then. Now, if you're wondering what these things are giant potion brewers. So they brew, I think, just a whole bunch of potions in batch, and then they make their way into the chest at the end. But as you can probably tell from that, yeah, this is definitely not working. These will definitely be empty. It's such a shame that between Minecraft updates, things like this happen. I mean, look. Chests are disappearing, items are disappearing from the droppers. I suppose there's nothing that you can really do about it. We've got things like dance machines. There's the stay out of my swamp sign that I was working on for the bottom of the Shrek. This is, I believe, this is another potion brewing station, I think. Either that or it's like a shulker box storage system. It might actually be a shulker box storage system. I think that might be what it is. I think this is stuff and things. This is what I built in Slipgator's base. It's a bit of a prank. We have just so much history here. It's bringing back all sorts of memories. Color combination locks. This thing. I wonder if this thing still works. Yeah, so this is the color combination lock that actually uses beacons for the colors as opposed to colored blocks. A little bit silly to have the color of your combination lock broadcasted to the rest of the world. But still, fun project to work on. We've got things like, oh, this is like a fancy lighting system. That was it. So Corrales always had really cool looking lights in his builds like this. They look really modern. So I thought I'd see if I could make them toggleable. And I did. And it's pretty compact as well. Look at that. But aside from all that, I think that just about wraps things up. I mean, I'm fairly certain we've taken a look pretty much every single important redstone build in the redstone testing world. We've got chandelier lighting here. It's funny how you just recognize certain circuits, and this is one of those circuits that I just know. I just know the look of it. That chandelier lighting straight away. And I'm impressed that it's still working. And of course, we've got the mob farm over there. So this is the mob farm that I used on Hermitcraft Season 2, Season 3, and Season 4. So that's done the rounds quite a bit. Lots of history, as I say. Tons upon tons of history. Oh, and if you're wondering, this is the sugarcane pillar, sugarcane brick wall tunnel. I think that's a good point to end on. Okay, we've gone through pretty much every single redstone build in the redstone testing world. And yeah, it's given me a whole bunch of ideas, it's given me a bunch of inspiration as well, and it's given me, I don't know, it's just brought back a whole ton of memories of fun redstone contraptions that I've worked on in the past. But I'm sure there's a few things that I missed out on, so if you do want to take a look at this thing in a tiny bit more detail, then you'll be happy to hear it is up for download. A link will be down in the description. If you want to download my redstone testing world and play in it yourself, just take a look around, or even use it as your own redstone testing world. You just have a cool place to work with, then go ahead. A link will be down in the description. Feel free to click it, and then you can go into your downloads and transfer it into your Minecraft World Saves folder, and then you'll be able to play, as I say, in my redstone testing world. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I've got time for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please sure to hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mambo, and I'm out. I'll see you later. Oh, and as per usual, check out the latest film on the Filming channel. Link will be on the end screen.